Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, where we talk with local entrepreneurs, share motivation, network with one another, and pick up a tip or two on how not to burn your business to the ground. I'm your host, Spencer Ward. All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode. We are here with Jeff Hough. He's in your coming up on your sixth year of being our Bannock County Commissioner, correct?
That is correct.
You can
It
correct me on
seems
all
longer
of
than
the.
that, but yeah, 6 years.
Yes. Yeah. Along the way, if I say anything that's false doctrine, you just correct me on it, and we'll just keep going. So, he's been serving our community, helping us to hopefully get more businesses in there, and just helping us in general. So, before we get too far into this, I have to take a sponsorship timeout. We are sponsored by Health West, great medical organization. Look to where they're closest to you. They're all throughout Idaho at this point, and Google them, give them a try, and they're great people. Also, my company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. If you need any janitorial assistance from Twin Falls all the way to Rexburg, we're your go-to people for all your needs that you don't want to do yourself. So, okay, Jeff, welcome back.
Hey, Spencer,
Welcome.
before we go any further, can I give a thumbs up to both of those businesses? Health West
Oh,
is
yeah.
a great organization. We do a lot of stuff with them. And also we had you helping us out last year for the first time, and you guys did a phenomenal job for us. So again,
Appreciate
shout
it.
out to you and Health West for the work you're doing in our community.
I appreciate it, Jeff. Well, thank you.
That's an unpaid endorsement.
That's unpaid. We like those. We like those. Well, cool. Let's talk about Bannock County. Bannock County, we're what? It's about Fort Hall down to, close to Fort Hall, to the edge of that, about
Yep,
the Tyhee area, and we're down to the Swan Lake area,
correct.
and then it goes to Lava Hot Springs, goes out to Hawkins. So
Yep.
we cover quite a bit of a footprint here in Idaho, southeast Idaho. How's business in general? How do you guys see the trends moving forward in Bannock County?
Moving forward, I think Bannock County is really poised to explode because there's been a lot of development around us that has kind of filled in, and now we're kind of that last bastion of available land and available opportunities. And so I would say Bannock County is really poised to explode over the next 5 to 10 years.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think we have so many different pluses going for us here in Idaho, especially in our area, for hopefully more manufacturing jobs, maybe even what data centers and stuff like that potentially coming in. But this is just an outsider's perspective. I'm sure you guys know even more of the benefits of coming here, and the cost of labor, cost of living, and it's just a beautiful place to be in. So yeah.
One of the things you'll hear a lot of people talk about when they're looking to relocate is what's the quality of life.
Mhm.
And you hear a lot of communities say our quality of life is fantastic, and it is. But I would put our quality of life here in Bannock County up against anybody anywhere, with our proximity to the outdoors, the hunting and the fishing, hiking, camping, all of that. Literally, and you know as well as I do, Spencer, anywhere within 10 minutes of the city, you can be outside hiking on
Yep.
the trails doing stuff. So our quality of life is, I think, second to none. We have a good workforce. ISU puts out a lot of great graduates, and one of the things that I wish could do a better job of capitalizing on the ISU graduates is keeping those people here.
Mhm.
And that's part of where I think a lot of our growth is going to come over the next few years, is by providing those jobs that'll keep those kids here and help us grow that way.
That'd be great. Do you see that? Is it the launch program? Has that helped as that's been initiated in Idaho?
Yeah, I sit on the governor's workforce development council, and we manage the launch funds and the launch program. The launch program has had such a phenomenal impact on Idaho as a whole, but
Mhm.
our area in general as well has benefited greatly from it. And ISU's enrollment, especially in the College of Technology, where those jobs are those short-term
For
in-demand
sure.
jobs, has really, really done well with that program. So that's been one of the greatest initiatives I think that Idaho's put in place to help our people stay here.
Oh yeah. For sure. And I like that it's not just paying for 4 year degrees; it's also paying for trade schools and stuff. Correct? Like we talked
Yeah,
about. So
specifically, it's geared towards those trades to help get
good.
people into that. And a lot of people think it's just for high school kids, but it's not. It's for the older folks that are changing careers and want to
Oh,
get
cool.
into a better high paying job. Launch helps with all of that.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know about that. That's really cool.
You can't change jobs, Spencer.
I don't want to change jobs. I'm in this too deep, but I'm just saying that's a cool thing for people out here that are making a change or looking to make a change. So,
Yeah.
well, cool. When it comes to Bannock County, um, I know I've talked to you a little bit of this off air a little bit. You know, I know when jobs, or potential employers or potential customer companies want to look into Bannock County, they're looking at what amenities do we have to offer? Yeah, we have the outdoors. It's beautiful. We have got all the mountain biking. We've got the rock climbing. We've got some great things, but I'm guessing they're looking for more, than just what
To,
we have.
to recruit businesses is a very competitive business right now. And businesses that are looking to recruit or to relocate, they're looking for tax incentives, whatever they can
Hmm.
do to help them move. And so the state of Idaho has a somewhat not very progressive attitude towards helping people relocate here. What they like to offer is a lot of tax incentives on the back end. So the state of Idaho says, you pay to come here, we'll help you on the back end. And in Bannock County, the state gives us the opportunity to have a program called it's the 602NN program,
Yeah,
which allows us to help reduce property taxes for the first 5 years of that business coming here. And a lot of businesses don't know about that. And that's also for an existing business. If an existing
mhm.
business, the threshold is you have to have an investment of at least $500,000 and generate some additional jobs. But if you can meet that threshold, then we can do some things property tax wise for you for 5 years to help you come here
Cool.
and be successful.
I love that. That's huge. I think, especially these bigger businesses that are actually going to make an impact in our community. Yeah, I think we need to do that kind of stuff to entice them
Correct.
here. Those trickle
Yeah.
down economics is a lot more than people think when it comes to that kind of
Yes, it
stuff.
is.
Yeah.
For
Um,
example, we were meeting with you off air. You mentioned data centers, and we were meeting
yeah.
with a data center that was considering relocating here, and that was part of our discussion: is what do we offer that way? And they're bringing in enough jobs and enough investment to meet the threshold. So, we're in the hunt. We have an
See,
opportunity because of programs like that to
I
recruit
love it.
businesses.
I love it. And just bringing the average, medium household income, raising that up in Bannock County is going to be huge, especially with the price of housing and everything like else going up. We're going to need that. We're going to need that for people to continue to afford to have good lives here.
Correct. Correct. When you talk about amenities that we have, one of the ones that I'm proudest of with Bannock County is the wellness complex and the amphitheater. I consider that to be the crown jewel of the county. And a lot of people don't know it, but we probably have close to 100,000 people a year go through there in all the different
Wow.
events that we have, from youth soccer to youth sports to high school rodeo and to our concerts. And then just the people that are up there every day walking around.
Yep.
So
I
that
love it.
that's you talk about amenities. That's one of the best amenities I think we have.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And if I was a business owner or head of major organization coming looking for to relocate, I would look for amenities just like that. I'd want to see more than just one public pool. I'd want to see what
Yeah,
what can I offer my employees, for them to have a great quality of life. And if we have a good venue to have concerts, other thing organizations can use it, and the soccer fields, football fields, all that kind of stuff. The to the what do you got? The sand volleyball over there. You got all
yep,
that sort of, and parks over there with toys for the kids to play on. All that kind of stuff adds up, and makes it an easier decision for these corporations to say, yeah, let's do it.
yeah.
Because
And
I think if
Our Fourth of
go
July
ahead.
celebration up there is one of the biggest in the state.
Yeah, it's
And
fantastic up there.
I don't know if you've been up there for that, but
I have.
I don't
Yeah.
think there's anywhere else in the state can actually sit that close to the fireworks and just actually be a part of the show.
Yeah. No, it is fantastic up there, and I love it. And especially, you always think that traffic's gonna be terrible, but the county and the local police departments do a great job of getting people out, so you're not stuck there for hours at a time. So that's been great up there. So no, I think though
I
that's
think
one
we
of those
usually think
amenities.
that there, I think attendance at that is about 20,000 people.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy. What's the how many can you fit into the amphitheater for concerts? What's the limit there? Do you remember?
The maximum capacity of the amphitheater is about 10,000 people.
Wow.
But what we found for us is the sweet spot is about that 4,000 to 5,000 crowd. That
Okay.
that fills it up, makes it look nice, but it's also a really good show that we can handle with everything that we have. So
Sure.
that's how we market it, is that for 5,000 and below shows is kind of our sweet spot.
I like it. You might see Papa Roach starting to push that up towards the more of the 9,000 range though when ticket sales start going for
Hey,
that concert. That'd
we would love a 9,000 show. We would love
be
that.
great. That'd be great. No, I love that that's there in our community because it's something unique about us that we can draw to and have that for everyone to enjoy. So it's being properly managed now, and it's great. So cool.
It's been fun. That's one of the focuses that I've had for the last few years is getting the management up there. We've had outside companies running the shows, and that wasn't successful. So we've had to spend the last couple of years rehabbing the image of the facility, not only with the community but in the industry. A couple of years ago, uh, Scott Crowther, the director up there, and I went
Yep.
to a conference, a music industry conference back in Nashville, and we heard over and over about that show, the Rockzilla show, that didn't go over so well,
Hmm.
and people were afraid to come. And so we signed with the Nederlander Concerts to help us. They manage 5 or 6 other amphitheaters across the country, and between us and the things that we've done, the leadership up there and Nederlander, we're back in kind of the good graces of the industry. And Scott, our manager, talks to the bands as they leave, and every one of them say, great place to play, fantastic crowds, beautiful scenery. We love it here. We want to come back.
Sweet.
So we've done a nice job, and I got to give our crew up there a ton of credit for just
Oh
doing a
yeah,
fantastic job to rehab us with the industry. And so it's so much fun.
it is. It is. And yeah, Scott is doing a great job up there. So that's yeah, and his crew are amazing. So I'm glad that we are just keep pushing to get better and better acts up there and to keep that place full. So that's awesome.
Yeah. In fact, real quick, that's one of the things we're doing this year. We've got a parking project because, as you know, parking is a little bit of an issue up there.
Yep.
So we got a parking project we're working on. We're also going to make some changes inside the amphitheater to enhance the audience uh, experience, make it
You sure?
better, make the lines be flow a little bit faster. So we're
Nice.
always trying to go to that next step. And last January, we went to LA to meet with our buyer, the Nederlanders, and we talked about a lot of things, and they identified those 3 or 4 things that we could do to kind of get next level. So
Nice.
that's what we're working on for this concert season.
Well, I like it. I'm glad that we have that amenity. I'm glad that it's there, and hopefully it never gets threatened to be shut down in any means. So that would not be good for the community. So,
No,
um,
there's a
go ahead.
faction of group out. There's a faction of people out there that think the county shouldn't be running concerts, and I don't disagree with that. However, we've got to get our goal is to get the venue rehabbed so that we can be not just the promoter, but just rent out the facility to all these promoters to bring
Yeah,
shows in. And we're getting close to that. We had a 5-year plan to get there. We're in year 3 of it this year, and I think we're doing really good. Like I said, industry wise, people are talking about us. That same conference we went to a couple of years ago where it was negative. This year we had a lot of different promoters coming up to us saying, "Hey, can we bring in shows? Can we do this? Can we talk about
sweet.
that?" So we're getting to where we need to be, but it would be horrible for the community to not have that operating because
Yeah, it would be.
it just I mean, you understand. You see how many businesses are up there, and
Hmm.
when people come to concerts, they don't just spend their money there; they spend their money throughout the community, and
Hmm.
it's a great asset for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. It's great for, just for to do business too. I bring potential clients, I bring clients up to shows, all that kind of stuff. So it's a good way to, just like, you know, love him or hate him, but Donald Trump says he closes more deals on the golf course than he does in the conference room, and I believe it. It's about building those relationships with the customers.
Yep.
So cool. I love it. Well,
And again, just real quick, a shout out to all of our sponsors that help support us and make that a lot of that possible. We have some great sponsors. So, just like you and your show, you have great sponsors. We have
yep.
great sponsors up there that we partner with in the community that
Yeah,
recognize the value of what we're doing.
no, yeah, we got some great people that keep, make sure that we can keep the lights on up there, and it's always great to see that interaction with people within the community with the sponsors. So it's awesome.
Yeah. And one of the things we're working on this year is I think we're going to try to work on bringing pro rodeo back to Pocatello. So we've
Oh,
been in some
sweet.
talks to do some of that. So we're really excited about that.
Okay. Would that just be back in the Holt Arena again, or would that be somewhere else?
No, that would be up at the fairgrounds.
Oh, fairgrounds. Okay, cool.
And we're in some talks to partners to do some stuff. So look
Very
for
cool.
that. I can't promise anything this year, but that's one of the things we're working on is bringing pro rodeo back to Pocatello.
I love it. I love it. We were at Cheyenne Days, a couple years ago, and we went and watched a Kid Rock show.
Yeah.
But I loved watching the professional bull riders. It's intense to watch all that. So
Yep.
it's fun to watch it. So it'd be great to have that in Pocatello and Bannock County as a whole. So well, good. Jeff, I know you're running for re-election. You're right,
Yep.
and obviously we want more good people out there that's representing our community and bringing potential employers, companies, jobs to the community. So I just want to give you a few minutes to kind of roll out the red carpet for you and kind of tell people what you're doing and what your plans are for the future.
Well, thank you, Spencer, and I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm running for reelection again this year, and I feel like I'm very involved in economic development in the county and what can we do to try to bring more businesses here. And that's one of my main focuses. And so how I can help that as a county commissioner is one of the things we're pushing on this year is redoing all of our zoning ordinances to make it easier for builders to build so we can build faster, so we can
Yeah.
build a little denser, closer to the area of city impact. In fact, I just had lunch with a developer talking about trying to build or create a sewer district so that we can help solve some of the water quality issues and things and help make it easier for developers to develop and
Hmm.
grow, but yet maintain environmental responsibility. And so that's one of the
Right.
things we're working on this year. So just a lot of things that I'm trying to help. You hear all the time people my age want their kids to come back to Bannock County. The kids
Yeah.
go to school here, they leave, they say, oh, we want our kids to come back. And that's always been my campaign theme is I'm trying to create a place to come home to. And so,
Just love it.
as we talk about election season, I have a lot of ideas. I have a vision for where I want the county to go. In fact, when I started with the county, we sat down as commissioners and made a mission statement to make Bannock County a leader in the state. And I'm always pushing for that. What do we do? How can we get better? Just like you and your business, Spencer. How
That's
do we
right.
get better? What do we need to do to be better? And that's what I'm all about as commissioner is how do we get better? How do we make Bannock County a leader in the state so we can attract more businesses, attract more people, get our kids back home?
That's right. I love it. Because if we stay the same, I've said it over and over again, especially on this podcast, we're just living the definition of insanity, expecting, new results
Correct.
for the same actions. So yeah,
Correct.
that yeah, you gotta keep trying things different. If it didn't work that time, that's fine. Let's try something different. So I love it. So
Yep.
well, I appreciate you coming on the show today, Jeff, and I'm sure those that are listening are excited to hear what's going on in the county, especially with the amphitheater up there. We're hearing some shows being announced, especially the Papa Roach one. I think that'd be a great one that I'll be going to for sure. So
Good. Well, we're still working on it. There may be some more announcements coming. Don't think we're done. We're
good.
still
I
working
love
on it.
it. I love it. Let's fill up the summer and have fun with it. So
Sounds
Okay.
good. Well, thank you, Spencer, for having me on.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And again, I'm Commissioner Jeff Hough, and I'd appreciate your vote on May 19th to help keep me around a little bit and keep pushing.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Thanks, Jeff. And as always, what we always end this podcast is be happy, be grateful, find opportunities to serve others, and then just have a great week. That's it for today's Idaho Business Podcast. Hopefully you learned something new. And if you didn't, I've got a cheat code for you. Go to theidahobusinesspodcast.com, enter your email, and get my 20 golden rules for business. It's packed with my best advice, plus it's free. Subscribe, leave a review, share this with a friend. Until next time, keep hustling, keep laughing, and keep Idaho awesome.